Good morning, folks. Dave Domzalski here with Dad Devotionals. Today in the Orthodox Church, we actually celebrate a saint that was very important in the preservation of our veneration of icons, and that's Saint Titus the Wonder Worker. And God gave him granted him the gift of wonder working because of his virtuous life. He was very devout in terms of fasting, purity of life, and just really gained the love of the people that he was around all the time. And they actually requested that he become a priest. So I just thought that was somebody to focus on right now, because not only is it his feast day, but as we are trying to deal with the fact that we're not going to be at church on the night of Pascha. My wife was actually very upset about that, and we had a conversation about that last night. But we're not going to be there. So it becomes increasingly more important as our parish priest points out that you need to make your home a church. And the way we, as Orthodox, do that one way is with icons. And, that's why I think April 2nd, here we are, we got about 28 more days of this lockdown. Who knows, maybe it's going to be even more. We already know that we're not going to be there for Pascha. So focusing on the saints, focusing on our veneration of icons, focusing on our daily prayers, something that I've found that really has helped me over the last few weeks and months or so is praying the hours. And that is something that I know I need to be more diligent about. But the point is, we have a lot of aspects of our faith and our church that can still be employed, even not being in church. It's not saying that's a replacement for us gathering together, but it can be a way for us to remain faithful and even maybe strengthen our faith, because it's been so tested, and it's going to be tested during this time of Great Lent as that continues, and also during Holy Week, not being there for those services. When I know especially for my wife, that is something that's been very uplifting, and one of the things that she fell in love with the faith, because we're both converts. So just think about that. Encourage your fellow Orthodox brethren, even your Catholic brethren and brethren of other Christian denominations. Just encourage each other, and maybe invite somebody who's not Orthodox to pray with you, and use that as an opportunity, whether it's over Zoom or maybe they're a part of your family or whatever it is. Help educate them about what it means to be part of the one true faith. Just something to think about here. All right, so let's get to our reading today from Proverbs, and it's a lengthy one, so just bear with me. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. He who keeps his way preserves his soul. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Better to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. He who heeds the word wisely will find good, and whoever trusts in the Lord, happy is he. The wise in heart will be called prudent, and sweetness of the lips increases learning. Understanding is a wellspring of life to him who has it, but the correction of fools is folly. The heart of the wise teaches his mouth, and adds learning to his lips. Pleasant words are like honeycomb, sweetness to the soul, and health to the bones. There is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death. The person who labors for himself, for his hungry mouth drives him on. An ungodly man digs up evil, and it is on his lips like a burning fire. A perverse man sows strife, and a whisperer separates the best of friends. A violent man entices his neighbor and leads him in a way that is not good. He winks his eye to devise perverse things. He purses his lips and brings about evil. The silver-haired head is a crown of glory, if it is found in the way of righteousness. He who is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he who rules his spirit than he who takes a city. The lot is cast into the lap, but every decision is from the Lord. Better is a dry morsel with quietness than a house full of feasting with strife. A wise servant will rule over a son who causes shame and will share an inheritance among the brothers. The refining pot is for silver and the furnace for gold, but the Lord tests the hearts. An evildoer gives heed to false lips. A liar listens eagerly to a spiteful tongue. He who mocks the poor reproaches his maker. He who is glad at calamity will not go unpunished. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children is their father. Excellent speech is not becoming to a fool, much less lying lips to a prince. A present is a precious stone in the eyes of its possessor. Wherever he turns, he prospers. He who covers a transgression seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates friends. Rebuke is more effective for a wise man than 100 blows on a fool. An evil man seeks only rebellion. Therefore, a cruel messenger will be sent against him. Let a man meet a bear robbed of her cubs rather than a fool in his folly. Whoever rewards evil for good, evil will not depart from his house. The beginning of strife is like releasing water. Therefore, stop contention before a quarrel starts. He who justifies the wicked and he who condemns the just, both of them alike are an abomination to the Lord. Why is there in the hand of a fool the purchase price of wisdom, since he has no heart for it? A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. That last line I feel is going to be something that we, whether we realize it or not, we take to heart through this trying time, because it is through our family and friends that we get through this, even if we can't be there with them physically. Brothers and sisters being born of adversity, for adversity, are something that we definitely need in this trying time. And I think I implore you to lean on not just your own family, but your faith family as well. Your priest, your deacon, and your brothers and sisters in Christ, because right now, that's how we're going to get through this, through prayer, through continued fasting, and through a new appreciation, I guess, of what it means to be Orthodox, because it's going to be hard not to be there in church for one of the most glorious feasts that we're privileged to celebrate. Well, with that said, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Hope you gleaned some insight and wisdom from it. And happy Lent. And please venerate your icons today. And, do your prayers and just focus on having that outlet and having that communion with God. I'm Dave Domzalski. This is Dad Devotionals. Take care.